Hello, viewers. Welcome back. So, in the last couple of sessions, we have seen, as far as Tally is concerned, so we saw the basic accounting of Tally, we saw the basic inventory, we saw basic accounting entries, and we saw basic inventory entries. Now, today's session, we will be getting into the additional features or modules of Tally, the first of its kind that we will be discussing in today's session is about the receivable and payable management. Now, what are this receivable and payable management? If you see, uh, today's business environment or business scenario is such that very few companies will have a policy of cash and carry. So, which means basically when you are going to buy a product as a B2B transaction, I'm not talking about B2C transaction. I'm talking about from a B2B, that is a business making commerce with another business, or you as a business procuring something from your vendor, and you as a business selling to your another business customer. So generally, what happens is that in today's scenario, that you have to extend credit period. What do you mean by credit period? So in simple term or in the layman's term, we can say that credit period is basically you are, let's take a sale that you are making to a customer. So you are selling goods or services to a customer, and the payment for that particular invoice, you would be giving your customer some time for him to take your product or services, and then after a specified period of time he is supposed to pay you back the amount that is outstanding. Now similar thing is applicable for any product that you're going to buy from your vendor or your supplier. Okay, so this is what basically we call this as credit period. And generally, if you see in today's business, I mean, like on an average, if you see, you will have about 30 to 45 day as standard credit period, or normally we call this as a credit policy, where uh, your customer is going to pay you after the specified period, or you pay your vendor after the specified period. Now, especially with this pandemic, we have seen that I mean, the outstandings have gone beyond 90, 120 days, right? So, what is that we are going to manage? How are we going to manage? Now, why do you need this receivable payable management? If you see, number one is that let's say you have a customer to whom you will be having uh, raising invoices on a regular basis or on an ongoing basis. So every invoice that you're going to make to your customer, you are giving him, let us say, a standard credit period of 30 days. So which means the invoice that you're going to raise today will have, you will give 30 days. For example, let us assume today is 4th of July. And if you are now going to provide 30 days credit, and if you are raising an invoice to your customer, that amount which is outstanding uh, from that customer is going to be due only on 5th of August, which is basically you give a 30 days. So like this, you will have multiple bills of a single customer, and similarly you will have multiple customers, multiple bills. And how do you going to remember these outstanding which you are supposed to receive on an ongoing basis? Now, whatever example I'm giving, you can just visualize with your supplier also, right? It is going to be the same thing. So now, if it is one or two customer, it is very easy, very simple for you to easily uh, remember. Okay, this particular customer on such and such a date you are supposed to receive the money, so that you can follow up with the customer. Now you have same customer, multiple bill, multiple customers, multiple bills. How are you going to manage? So that means on a daily basis, let us assume that today if you have to know from which all customers you have to receive how much of money of the outstanding invoices which are due. So how are you going to get this information? Number one. At the same time, as on today, what are the amounts that are pending that you are supposed to pay to your vendors? See, in today's scenario, see, generally those days, if you see, as a normally as a business, the psychology will be that, I'm more worried about receiving money from a customer, right? So, I put all my concentration and effort in tracking my receivable. But then, the payable, we generally don't be so serious with the payable, because, I mean, like, okay, as you now follow up with your customer, the mindset is that let my supplier follow up with me, and then I will make a payment. No, now today's scenario, it is with this very competitive business, and it is very important that you as a business, you are able to have a proper, maintain your credibility in the market. See, with the social media and with the exposure of technology, the information or the news, spreads very fast. We say, sound and light is faster. But today, with this advent of this technology, with the social media, we have been witnessing that how a proper news reaches the mass at such a speed, or any news. I mean, like, it reaches the mass, and then the kind of impact that it creates. So it is very important that you also manage your payables, so that, without your vendor following up with you, you are able to track your payable, and then, have a proper communication. In case you are not able to make the payment as per the agreed credit term or as per the agreed credit period, it is always better. It's a good hygiene of business is that, you call your vendor and tell them that, you are not able to make the payment, and when would it be possible for you to make the payment. So that way, it really, helps you to maintain the good rapport with your suppliers, and also it is not going to impact your, credit rating in the market. So the whole idea of this receivable and payable management is that you start now, as you are recording your sales invoice, or as you are recording your purchase invoice in your books of account. Now we will be enabling a new feature called bill wise detail. So that is what we are going to understand, and we will first see that how are we going to enable the bill wise detail in Tally, and then we will see what are the other things that we can achieve with this bill wise module. And the most important thing is that how do we now understand that how do we manage this bill wise detail? What are the steps that you need to follow, so that, you are able to capture the right kind of information for tracking of your receivable and payable, such that at any given point in time, or by click of a button, you are able to get your outstanding report, so that, whatever action that needs to be taken, you can take those actions, right? So quickly, uh, so this session, basically, I would be having multiple parts, because I don't want to take a longer session. So I will maximum try to keep the session, say about 15-20 minutes time, and each part. So it's see, I'm going to now in this session I'm going to cover the complete bill-wise detail management, and also I will be covering the reporting aspect of it. And the couple of sessions that in the bill wise detail that I'm going to cover is purely for the freshers. So where that is where I would be explaining in detail. So for business owners or for accountant, you already know what is receivable management, payable management, how do you manage, and all those things. But then I'm going to show you a lot of, like magics of bill wise detail, how you can leverage the bill wise detail, not just for your vendors and for your customers, but also for various other things. And also, how do you, play around with this bill wise detail so that, you can get a proper cash flow management is what I will be covering in the series of bill wise details, right? So now, if you see, first let me show in Tally ERP. So, so this is where your company is there, and okay, one information for all of you. The moment you create a company in Tally, okay, so by default, if you see, the bill wise detail will be activated. Okay, so every time you create a new customer ledger or a new vendor ledger, you will notice in the master creation screen that the bill wise detail is enabled. So we will see that. So in case if it is not enabled, or you are not getting that bill wise screen allocation, then how do you make sure that the bill wise module or the bill wise feature is enabled in Tally? So so all of us know that in Tally ERP, see basically Tally has multiple features. So now one of my previous video I had explained about the various accounting features and various inventory features. So if you see, bill wise detail is part of your accounting feature. And how do we make sure that the bill wise detail is already enabled? So from the gateway of Tally, your secret number one, right hand side button bar. So you press F11. So in ERP in F11, if you see, you have this accounting feature. So first we will go into the accounting feature. The cursor is already highlighted on accounting feature. So press enter, and these are the various accounting features that you can enable. So the first thing that we are going to see is that if you see here in the outstanding management block, the first option is maintain bill by bill, and it is yes, by default it is yes. Okay, so you have to just make sure. So this is the first thing that you have to ensure that the bill wise module is enabled. Now, if you see in Tally ERP, you have one more option saying for non-trading account also. What is this for non-trading account also? We will see them, right? So initially, just make sure that your bill wise detail is yes. So once your bill wise detail is yes, you're going to press Control A. So this is how you enable your bill wise detail in Tally ERP. Now let us see how do we enable Tally uh, bill-wise detail in TallyPrime. Again, if you see, when you create a company in TallyPrime, by default, Tally is going to enable bill-wise detail uh, the moment you create a company. Okay, in TallyPrime, if you see, your accounting module, your inventory, your bill-wise detail, and GST module will by default set to be yes. Okay, so if you don't want, then you can go and make it as no the moment you create a new company. So how do you know that the bill-wise detail is enabled? So again it is the same thing. So F11 feature is where you will see all these features which you can enable, disable at any point in time. Okay, so again from the gateway of Tally, you can press F11, or from the company menu. When you click on the company menu, so you have these features which the keyboard shortcut is F11. So you can just click on the feature, or you can press F11 from the gateway of Tally, right? So if you see here under the accounting, so again there are a lot of other features. We will see them later. So maintain accounts only, it is yes, and then enable bill wise detail, it is made as yes. Now the option which was showing that enable bill wise detail for non-trading account also, why is it not showing? See, the moment you enable bill wise detail, internally it will also allow you to enable for non-trading. So we will have to understand first what is this non-trading. So what is trading, what is non-trading? A trading is the moment by default, when you say enable bill wise detail, uh, all the ledgers that you are going to create under the group called sundry debtors and the group called sundry creditors will get automatically enabled with bill wise detail. Now, when I say enabled with bill wise detail, the option would be set as yes. Okay. So that is what is basically you call this as a trading account. Now, non-trading, we will discuss a little later. Okay. So this is our first session where we are trying to understand the need for receivable payable management. Why do we need a receivable payable management? So we have discussed about it. And how do we make sure that the bill-wise detail is enabled once you create your company? Okay. And if it is not enabled, now you know where to go and then enable your bill-wise detail. Okay. So thank you all for staying till the end. So in the next session, we will discuss about the more options and we will try and understand how are we going to now start creating the masters, ensuring that the bill-wise detail is enabled for those masters for which you need bill-wise tracking, and how do we capture the transaction also we will see in the upcoming sessions. So thank you all staying till the end. See you all in the next session. Thank you very much.